Contraindications. For this next practice, if you are pregnant or menstruating, then please don't do it. Wait till another time. And also, ideally, if you would do these practices after you've been to the toilet and also on an empty stomach without too much food. Okay, thank you. Enjoy practicing. Hello, and welcome to Yogateket. My name is Guy Powiecki, and I am guiding you through a series of tutorials at the moment around pranayama. And for today's tutorial, we're working on another one of the very important preparatory exercises. It's called Agni Sara, and Agni means fire, and Sara means to sort of invigorate or to lift up. And the fire that we're working with is our digestive fire. So we're very much working on an exercise that is supposed to aid in digestion, in the uptake of minerals and energy from our food. If you have not already watched the tutorial on Uddiyana Bandha Kriya or Nauli, I would recommend watching that one first. In yoga, there's usually an action and a counteraction. And when we're working with our stomach, with our internal organs, we're first compressing them in the Uddiyana Bandha Kriya, and now in Agni Sara, we're giving them space. So they're often done as a pair, and I would recommend doing the Uddiyana Bandha first, and Uddiyana Bandha Kriya first, or the Nauli, and then Agni Sara, this one afterwards. So now to the real point of the tutorial, I will demonstrate the technique for Agni Sara and just talk you through it. And again, it's an exercise that takes time to refine and time to work with the control. So maybe you'll come back to this tutorial sometimes just to check you're doing things right and maybe hearing something you didn't hear before. But more importantly, you'll need to take your own time to work on these techniques. There was also a series of pranayama classes where we're going through more of a just general flow from one technique to the other. But the idea of these tutorials is so you can work on the techniques. So for Agni Sara, we're starting in the same way as the Nauli, the Uddiyana Bandha Kriya, with an exhale, exhaling completely out. When we feel that we can't exhale anymore, we're actually pushing the abdomen out, expanding it out. And then still with the breath held the whole time, drawing the lowest part of the abdomen back in. And then when it's in, we flick it out, and then we expand. There's almost like 3 stages. You can feel that the abdomen is drawing back, then there's a slight flick, and then expand, 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 and really try to get as much space as you can around this belly button area. And what we're doing is giving space to our internal organs, giving space to our intestines, and again, this, by changing the volume, we're changing the internal pressure, and it just allows things to move around, to have a freer exchanges of gases, freer exchange of substances. So it's important both at a physiological level, in terms of your health and your well-being, but it's also very important at an energetic level. The main center of energy that we're working with in Hatha Yoga is in this lower abdomen area. So the main things to look out for when you're performing the technique is trying to feel that you're controlling the exercise from this lower part of the abdomen, that you're staying relatively free in this upper part of the abdomen, that you're drawing back underneath here but trying to stay free here. And another important thing to remember is really take your time in the expansion phase. Really try to spend a few seconds there and try to let the belly be as big as it can. And it counterintuitive to what we're normally doing in life, and particularly for women as well. We're often told, hold your belly in or have a firm belly. But it's very good for your belly also just to expand sometimes. And it can be a helpful exercise to actually use your own hands to bring a bit more intelligence, a bit more awareness into the area. So using them as a guide to help you sort of draw it back, and then feeling the expansion as well. So I'll just show what that would look like if you were using your own hands. So again, comfortable inhale, exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. When you feel that you can't exhale anymore, you're holding the breath at that point. So the breath is held out, and then you're drawing back, flicking, expanding, drawing back, flicking, expanding. Once you need to breathe, releasing the abdomen and breathing. So I'll just show this time with using my own hands, which when you're learning this, when you're a beginner, is very helpful, just to feel what you're doing. Okay. So it's exactly the same technique, but pushing in with the fingers slightly and then feeling like you're trying to expand into your own hands. And I don't know whether the microphone picked it up, but maybe you heard a bit of gurgling in my stomach. And that's a good sign. If you hear some gurgling in your stomach, it just means that things are moving around in that area. So thank you for watching this tutorial on Agni Sara, and take your time with it. Be patient with your progress. We're trying to find control and refine control in an area that's not used to being worked with us. We're not normally manipulating our muscles here. So again, come back to the tutorial when you need it, but take your time just to work with this in your own time at home. And there's also other classes that we use these techniques very much. So when you're doing the other pranayama classes, you will be doing them. But if you want to work on the technique, come back to the tutorials. And again, my name was Guy Powiecki, and thank you for watching.